Forward. All right, for anyone who may be watching this, I'll be putting this episode. This is kind of a little mini-sode with Alex's character Ravi, um, and this takes place. This moment takes place right after the party has returned from the Castellanter's um, mansion after they have talked to a devil that has put them in a position to spare the Castellanter's life um, in order to spare their children who were going to become fiends. And one of the children was left in their fiendish state as a chain devil. Um, and this is Ravi alone. He kind of removes himself and journeys um, to the rooftops of the House of Spirits, which is the party's domain. A little tavern that they've just gotten started up and running. Um, Anything else I should add to that? And then, so basically, this is a moment where Ravi's talking to his god, Sulune, god of the moon. Anything else you want to add there?
Um, he had just tried and failed to save Osvaldo Castellanter, who is the Chain Devil, and he's taking it really hard.
Yeah. So what we'll see here is, in which form is he in at the moment?
He is in his shifted form.
Shifted form. So we'll move. So there he is, looking up into the sky. And like you said, he is taking this moment hard as we open on beautiful night sky, blanketing water deep, brisk air hitting Ravi's face, and the moon seeming so close but also so far away. That light shining down like a spotlight on him, and within it, a sliver, almost like an eye, forms like a cat's eye, and that sliver begins to push outward, developing the silhouette of a female form, and white, wispy flock of hair begins to blow, and again, she is so close to him, but she's also so far away. He can hear her whisper. And he begins to after she has recently shown herself in destroying a large fiendish devil that was attacking them at the manor, but is not necessarily provided him the outcome that he wanted earlier in the evening. And so, what does Robbie say?
He's probably just kind of shocked for a second. When he sees her, and then as he kind of realizes what's going on, he like looks up at her, and it's just he gets down on one knee and says, "Mother of Moonlight, I think there's been a mistake. Osvaldo Castellanter should not be in the nine hells right now. Why couldn't we save him?
And he hears a whisper of her voice, very soothing but also commanding. And she says, "My son, you cannot save those you do not wield power over. Some are not meant to be saved. The price of his soul is the price his parents chose to put upon it. Just as you could not save the souls of those who were deceived by the Castellanters this evening, who chose to eat the lush food that was poisoned with the midnight tears. You must not let this hang so heavy on your own soul, or it may destroy you."
But so am I supposed to just walk away from this? Just let the Castellanters do their devilish deeds? Let them go about their lives potentially hurting countless others?
Every hero has their turn in this life, just as every villain does. This shall too pass, and their time shall come when their reign must end. If you want it to be by your hand, it is not I give you that power. It is but a decision of your own to make. I am, as you mortals call us, gods. We are but beings. It's just that we exist in a place and a time that does not allow us to have such a sweet an end as you. And so we seem so petty and vengeful, uncaring maybe. But we've seen it all before. I've seen plenty of innocent souls die and transition on. And I have seen plenty of evil rule within this plane. And I am not for it. But I alone cannot change it. But I learn, just as you must, to understand it. Is this not what you wanted to hear?
Guess not. I don't know, You know, when I was young and on the streets, I was on the verge of dying. That's when Bizandra found me. It just, I don't know, I guess I wanted to believe that there was a reason.
Is there not?
Oh.
What has you doubting your faith?
I feel like ever since the day I was born, I've just, I've just made a mess of things. And I guess I just wanted to finally be something good. And I don't know, even since the time that we've been here, I don't feel like I've done anything to call myself worthy of, I don't know.
You live in a messy world, my son. And it is a product of being your kind, of being mortal. It is okay to embrace this, as I have to embrace what comes with being a god. It is not as simple as immortals would feel that I can make everything right. No more than you can make everything right in a small circle of people you call friends. You doubt your faith, I see. You feel like all this has been a mistake. You feel. It is okay to feel. It is okay to feel this way. But do not linger in it and allow yourself to know that one of the things that makes you so special is that, and do not let me hurt you when I say this, you're, as mortals, you are naive. And this, and that naivete is what makes your kind so special. You see, you fight against tides that are often unchanging. And every champion is naive enough to think that they can change them. But remember, my son, it is those who lack this naive state of mind that will never be champions of anything.
Guess you're right.
Do not stop being naive, my son. If you believe you can save them, then continue to try.
Okay. Okay.
Just know that it is the possibility of failing that will make what you achieve so great. And it will not be by a God's hand if you do. And I would not be a just God if I was to tell you it will be so. I am a God, not a fortune teller. And I'm sorry that I do not know. And I'm sorry that even I have my place amongst the gods, and I even have only so much power. I even have so much power over you. I cannot guide your way, but I can accompany you.
Okay.
And as he sits there, and these motions running through him, what does Ravi feel? Does he feel that? Is this creating more answers? I mean, more questions than answers? Does he still feel? How does he feel? Is I guess my question.
I think he still feels uncertain, but when she calls him naive or says that being a champion requires being naive, he doesn't disagree. He he understands that you have to push against what is to be able to reach what could be. And you have to have a certain amount of I guess just, foolishness to be willing to run headfirst into things sometimes, and even if they're not guaranteed.
Was he seeking more of a guarantee from someone else?
I mean, he was, but she's right. This isn't a world where she decides things alone. She's not the only one with her hands in.
And as her form still floats there, are there other questions that he may have? I know that he was conflicted about the pact, if you want to call it, that was made tonight.
So he'll look up to her and say, there, and I understand that you can't guarantee anything. And you say you can't guide me. Maybe not to where I need to be, but perhaps you could at least point me in a direction. If I could at least seek your wisdom. Uh, Amnon's pact with his devil was altered tonight. And it seems that Demetria's involved now. I don't know to what extent exactly, but it's just, I guess the problem is that I don't see an issue with the pact. I don't want to be making deals with devils, but they're telling us that Tiamat is trying to make her way into this realm. And I know they say they want to stop her. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but they're asking us to craft some sort of dragon collar to trap her in the 9 realms. Do you know anything about this, about Tiamat? Would this be our only way to stop her if she really is coming to us?
What I would say is, first and foremost, I was here at the beginning of this world. Her hair continues to blow. She kind of turns away, looking out across the land. And I have seen the world formed under her brother, Bahamut. And I have seen the world that would come. And she, at first, was a beast of righteous anger. But she has lost that now. She is beyond a sibling disagreement, as I know so well. She will subjugate and destroy this world if possible, and every world she goes to beyond. And what I will say to you, Ravi, is to never let a devil tell you that the only way to do something is their way. But that being said, you and your group are beyond good souls and bad souls at this point dealing with her. You are beyond thinking about if you should entertain the requests of noble gods like I or devious devils like Asmodeus. Because what you must ask yourself now is, will you do whatever is necessary to stop the Dragon Queen, no matter the cost? No matter the cost. That is how dire this is.
I understand.
And the wind kind of crisply rolling over him. kind of gets warm momentarily as he feels um, almost like a motherly embrace from behind, like almost like wings wrapping around him. And he's looking up towards that moon as her silhouette uh, is closing into that kind of cat's eye and disappearing. But he still feels her presence. It's not like she's gone. He can still speak to her, but he no longer sees the visage. And instead, he almost could feel her next to him or kind of behind him, hugging him. Um, and now that embrace is coming from just the light of the moon itself. Something that the average mortal can't really attune to in the way that Ravi can. Almost that those who love the sun in the morning of it will wake up and often feel the sun hit their face and feel rejuvenated by it on their skin. It can't often be said that same feeling for the moon, but Ravi can feel that.
I'll do whatever it takes.
I will be by your side. Is there anything else that you'd like to ask or share before you can slowly feel her presence kind of not fading but moving back over and from this kind of static mortal realm, feeling her energies dispersing themselves back throughout the sky and the surrounding lands of the Sword Coast?
I don't think so.
And as he breathes there, he can hear the party downstairs shuffling around. He probably even hears Dimitri's voice called out, Ravi, Ravi. Um, and what does he do for the rest of his evening? Do we just kind of leave him there on the rooftop? Is there somewhere else he might go, or might he retreat back in to spend the rest of the evening with his fellow companions?
I think, well, he understands what Saloni's telling him.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a lot to take in.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably just going to go walk the streets for a little while.
Yeah.
Come back at some point before dawn.
And so we see him scuttle off of the little shingles and slip down, not making a noise as he drops to the streets and slips into the shadows, and spends the rest of this time of the evening with his thoughts. So, good session. Hopefully, there were some answers to what you were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And we will see where he takes that. But but yeah, I think there was some guidance there for him in terms of yeah. I think he interprets it. I don't want to speak to how he might see what she has said so far, but I'll be interested to see how he continues to roleplay that
Mm-hmm.
going forward into the rest of the game. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad we put it down this way. So now there's I'll probably put this as a kind of a little mini-sode in between the next session that gets posted up, or that right after that last session started posted that one.
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, and so it's a tough one. Yeah,
Hmm.
I know he feels the Osvaldo thing is a big deal,
No, but it's good because from what I've learned about Ravi is that while it's like noble that he wants to help him, he's doing it for kind of his own selfish reasons.
and
So it's kind of good for Selena to kind of give him a dose of reality, being like, you can't save everyone.
yeah,
Not everything's, not everything's going to be okay. Sometimes you have to make things okay if you want them to be.
yep, yep,
Mm-hmm.
yep, and I think she's saying, and and that's why I kind of wanted her to feel like in that weird way she's not necessarily saying what he want to hear, but at the same time she's saying in a weird way because like like the naive comment she's like, well, if you actually think you can change the world, then continue to be, then stick with
Mm-hmm.
it, and um, and often I would think that whoever's praying to their God wants this omen that not they want this confirmation that not only should I continue to do, but that
Mm-hmm.
it will be okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think she can say it will be okay
Right.
completely, and so
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, so it should be interesting, uh, you know, and there's these her her powers clashing with Asmodeus. All of that, I'm sure, has a lot of checks and balances to it. So
Mm-hmm.
that she wouldn't be able to completely explain. But yeah, I think she's definitely uh, she won't control his hand in the way that I think the devils would. They would say, "You need to go here. You need to do that, right,
Mm-hmm.
to get to this job done." And I think that's what gives a good god, an agency, gives their champions agency,
Mm-hmm.
where the devils are going to be like, "Do this or else,"
Right.
kind of thing.
Right. She's giving him a freedom that he wouldn't otherwise get from. Right.
Yep. Yep. And uh, and in that way, the way I'd like to look at it is his own actions are the path, regardless of what happens. That is the path.
Right.
Um, but no, that was good. Yeah. So hopefully it gave some closure to
Mm-hmm.
where you pick up this next section. And thank you for sending me the questions, and it was kind of nice to watch them kind of evolve. And thanks for giving me an opportunity to kind of sit with them and figure out what she might say
Mm-hmm.
in a situation like this. I'll go ahead and stop the recording and look forward to seeing you back on hopefully Wednesday.
Yes. Hopefully.